Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Nieminen from the organization called Nuorten, Ystävät, and I will be moderating this workshop, School After Lockdown, Getting Young People and Families Back on Track. Thanks for joining us. The session will last 45 minutes. And during the session, if you have any questions, please ask these in the session QA on the right-hand side of your screen. And please ensure you are in the session tab and not on the event tab. Otherwise, your question will be seen by the whole event. And I will be asking the questions of the speaker at the end of the session if we have time. You can also use the thumbs up icon to upvote a question if it's something you are keen to ask too. I am now delighted to introduce our speaker for today, Markus Nieminen from Nuorten Ystävät. Please.
Okay, welcome everybody on my behalf as well to our workshop today. And greetings from Finland, and particularly from the Oulu area, which is up in the northern part of Finland, and where we with Anu are sitting today. Good to see you all, and I hope you have had a great and interesting symposium so far. And a big thank you for you to choosing our workshop today. As my colleague Anu already introduced me, my name is Markus Nieminen, and I will be speaking today on behalf of my organization. My topic today is School After Lockdown, getting young people and families back on track. Today I will be speaking to you about school absenteeism during the COVID-19 pandemic and how we at Nuorten Ystävät have dealt with all that has come on our way during the past year. In this workshop, our main focus will be on teenagers, but I want to acknowledge that me and our team are not only for the teens, but that we also have know-how and expertise on children of all ages. But first, a few words about the structure of this workshop, or a presentation, if you will. First, I will shortly introduce our organization. Then I will move on to introducing Vanhempien Akatemia, which is the division of our organization, Nuorten Ystävät, in which I work in. I will tell you who we are, where we geographically work at, and what we do, and so on. After the introductions, I will tell you a couple of words on the governmental context in which we work here in Finland. This means that I will shortly tell you about our educational system and about the social and health services that families in Finland are entitled to. This is crucial in my opinion to mention, because in order to understand why we do what we do, one needs to understand where we come from, because it will lay sort of the ground rules for our work in a way. After we have our fundamentals under control, we can move on to our main message today. So let's get started. How to help a teenager who has problems in school attendance. I personally like to form and ask good questions in order to study the phenomena I work with. So never underestimate the power of a finely formed question. I'm not sure if this question is I have asked here is a particularly fine one, but its job today is to provoke you guys a little bit and to warm you up for our topic today. So, who are we? Nuorten Ystävät, Friends of the Young in English, is a Finnish non-governmental and non-profit organization working in the field of social and health services. We are based in Oulu, Finland, but that said, Nuorten Ystävät is a national organization in Finland, and we do have offices all over. We have a long history in what we do. Nuorten Ystävät has worked with families and children who have special needs and need special support and assistance for over 100 years by now. Nuorten Ystävät is our rooftop organization, and next I will tell you a few words on the division of Nuorten Ystävät I personally work in. So this presentation focuses on the work that Vanhempien Akatemia does. Vanhempien Akatemia translates into Parents Academy in English. Vanhempien Akatemia is a division of our rooftop organization, Nuorten Ystävät, and what we do is we offer low threshold preventive family support for all interested families in our area. So the families we work with don't have to have severe problems, but of course many of them face major problems in their lives, which is why they get in contact with us in the first place. So mainly we work at the Oulu and Seinäjoki areas, but as almost all of us during the past year in many lines of business have went on web due to the COVID-19 pandemic. If we zoom even more into our organization chart, you will see that today I'm going to focus on the work that Vanhempien Akatemias Komiasti and Tolokusti teams do. Neither of these names translate well into English, so I won't be confusing you with semi-good translations. Our Komiasti team is based in Seinäjoki and Tolokusti team is based in Oulu. Both of these teams work in cooperation with their local schools to help teachers and the students with many kinds of problems that they have in school and of course, sadly, many times in their family life as well. Next, a few words on what we do. Vanhempien Akatemia and our Komiasti and Tolokusti teams offer help primarily for families. More precisely, we offer help, support, and guidance on parenthood. And we do this on 3 levels: individual, group, and mass. The idea of this structure is that our customers can sort of hop on with us at any level they like. For some, it is easier to start from our mass events. This means, for example, open lectures for everyone who is interested in the topics that we offer. And for some, it feels more natural to start from our individual guidance services, which are, of course, more personal. Over the past year, all of our services have, of course, been available only on web. So this has in some cases modified the usage of our services and of course the needs of our customers as well. This can be seen, for example, in that we are mainly a local operator, but the past year and the fact that almost all of our services have been available only on web has brought us customers from all over Finland. And of course, we have regarded this as a wonderful turn of events on our part and for our business. I personally hope that these web services would become more attainable for everyone, and that more people would also be more aware of them in the future. This would probably solve many problems in a country like Finland, because geographically we are a rather large country, but our population is only about 5.5 million, and most of our population is packed at the Helsinki metropolitan area, which is in southern Finland. At this point, I would like to summarize the content of the rest of this presentation, so that you will hopefully find it more easy and pleasant to keep track on my agenda. The key word today in this presentation is family. And today I aim to share you Vanhempien Akatemia's family-centered way of working with school absenteeism during the COVID-19 pandemic. Truth be told, this has been a service our Komiasti team at Seinäjoki, at the Seinäjoki area, has already offered for several years by now. But over the past year, we have had the privilege of extra funding on this service at the Oulu area as well. Okay, before I go on and tell you all about the way we work with families who struggle with school-related problems, I want to tell you about the context in which Komiasti and Tolkusti teams work in here in Finland. As you may know, Finland is a so-called welfare state, and this sets us up with some ground rules you should know before I tell you about the work we do in our Komiasti and Tolkusti teams. First, a quick lesson on the Finnish education system, because the work that we do it in cooperation with local schools, which are bound by several legal acts regarding education here in Finland. For example, the Basic Education Act and the Compulsory Acts bind our schools. The Finnish education system itself has been designed to be a continuum, and it starts from early childhood education and care, goes on to primary education, which, by the way, is mandatory but not compulsory, and goes on to our 9-year basic education, which is compulsory for everyone. And actually, starting from this autumn, also the upper secondary education is compulsory for everyone in Finland. After compulsory education, everyone, of course, have the chance to continue their free studies at higher levels if they will. And I would also like to say that our education system has been built on a sort of a profound understanding on the several far-reaching positive effects and impacts that we find a good quality education generates in individual and on societal levels. Of course, we have a lot of other services for families that are provided on a governmental level, and here is a few examples of them. Most of our family services in Finland lie under the umbrella of social and health services, and many of them can be also found in most other countries. There is a couple of services which are more rare to be found outside Scandinavia, one being the maternity clinics that follow the development of our babies even before they are born and continue to offer support in many areas for several years. This said, it is much harder to find services for children in Finland above the age of 10, and almost impossible to get good quality service for any issue that concerns a teenager, or at least this is very difficult. Not everywhere, but in some areas. And of course, this is where the third sector organizations like Nuorten Ystävät come in handy in Finland. And Nuorten Ystävät's Vanhempien Akatemia has been a pioneer of parental guidance in the Oulu area for almost 10 years, or actually 10 years this year. And especially our involvement with school, with work against school-related problems has been and is a subject of interest in many forums. Next, a few words on our customers that komiasti and tolokusti teams here at Vanhempien Akatemia face. So even in a welfare state like ours, there are gaps between public services and people who are in need of help. In some of these cases, we at Vanhempien Akatemia are able to help or to offer help to those who are in need. Our customers mainly consist, or more or less consist, from three main groups: parents, children, and teenagers, and of course, many times the whole family and the whole family dynamics can be the subject of our work. Our customers reach us mainly through the schools that we work with. The school staff informs the parents that there is help on offer when a teenager, for example, has problems in attending school or in truancy. Or in cases of bullying or lack of motivation, for example, in schoolwork. And in many cases, we offer sort of first aid in problems with mental health issues. But mainly, we aim to offer the parent or the parents of the family. And rarely we work only with a child or a teenager in need. During the past year, most of our customers have been ones whose lives have been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, one way or another. But very few of our customers have faced school-related problems for the first time during the pandemic. So in many cases, they have received help already, and many times from several sources. Of course, we would be more than happy to offer plain preventive help to those families who face minor problems. But this customer segment is many times very hard to sort of lure to accept help. This phenomenon probably has to do a lot of with the culture that we live in, because in Finland, people love their privacy. So, Who is in charge when a teenager lets schoolwork slide? Yet a burning question to provoke you guys. Actually, now we are at the heart of what we here at Vanhempien Akatemia consider to be the main focus of our job, to find a way. So who is in charge when a teenager lets schoolwork slide? Is it the teenager, the parent, the teacher? This is the question that leads or heads our thinking and our problem solving in encounters with our customers. Teachers and parents we work with often ask us that, when can you see this and this student, or a child, or a teenager who is in need of help for some reason? But we look at school-related problems in another way. We think that challenges of the young are challenges of the whole family. This may sound like a no-brainer, but in fact, most of the parents we work with have been burdened by several problems for so long that they are just seeking for a quick fix. You do the work. This most likely is a Western problem, because in most Western cultures and countries, an individual is regarded to be in charge of their own life. And I think that now we have reached sort of a point in history in a societal level when even very small children who are able in most areas in their development but have difficulties in some can be seen as the cause or source of the problematic behavior or action or whatever it may be. As a kind of a counter force to this phenomenon, we have chosen to work in a systemic way with our customers. This means that we see the family as a system where all of the components of the system affect each other directly or indirectly. So in layman's terms, we help the parent or parents to help themselves so they are able to help their children. And I would say that our work aims mostly to strengthen the various resources that parents or the parent has at their disposal in their lives. Next, a few words on helping our customers, how we do this. This can be, of course, done in many ways, and here is a small reminder of the way we work here at Vanhempien Akatemia. We have our 3 levels of help and support for individuals, groups, and bigger mass events that are open for all. As you can see from this slide, we do offer our services directly to children and teenagers as well, but this is always done after considering whether it will be helpful in a particular situation. And I would say again that all our services aim to strengthen the resources of the parents, but of course also the whole families and the children, so that they would be able to live a well-rounded life. We do this mainly by psychoeducation, adding knowledge, for example, on development, sharing positive rearing methods, offering therapeutic discussions, and enabling peer support, and so on. Okay, but what kind of help is beneficial for an individual? Our customers come from various walks of life, and this, without a doubt, affects their ability to benefit from the help that we at Vanhempien Akatemia have to offer. So next I will tell you a few words on these three categories that we use at Vanhempien Akatemia, or actually in our Tolokusti team. So roughly you can say that people can be divided into three groups according to their developmental state in executive function. Executive function is necessary for our cognitive control and many other things as well. Executive functions are a set of cognitive processes such as attentional control, working memory, and cognitive flexibility. When we think about what sort of form of help could be beneficial for an individual or for our customer, we can divide our customers into three major categories by what they tell us about their life situation, background, and about what has already been done for the problem with what they come to us for help. These categories are distributed normally, as you can see from the graph on the slide. People who are in the self-regulation group have problems, surprise, surprise, with self-regulation, and they benefit from help in strengthening this dimension of their life. Often they use our services for a relatively long periods of time. And then the executive functions group is the largest one of the three groups, and they get most things right in their lives, and this means that they are able to lead their own life and the lives of their children relatively well. But what they need from us is clear suggestions or instructions on how they could start to solve a problematic situation at school together with the child. This group is very diverse, of course, and for example, individual support for this group can be many things. The metacognition group is the portion of people whose development of executive function is on such a level that they are, for example, able to think about and analyze their own cognitive processes in an efficient way. These people are these people rarely use such services that we at Vanhempien Akatemia offer. And this is because they have everything well under control. Of course, these people are wonderful volunteers or volunteer workers, for example, for our peer support groups, or for parental coaching or mentoring. So in some cases, they do attend to our services, which is wonderful. And last but not least, today's giveaway, and a few words on why we choose to work this way. Our giveaway today is that challenges of the young are challenges of the whole family. So why do we choose to work this way? Our point of view is systemic, but in a family, the components of the system are not equal, because responsibility for the child or the child's well-being lies with the parent or the parents. Also, a child's development is dependent on sufficient interaction with a so-called competent other, who in many cases is the parent. Of course, the competent other can also be all other so-called safe adults in the teenager's life, such as teenagers, etc. Also, the positive rearing methods we aim to share to parents are very effective, and they can be learned by the parent, and they do support the development of the child, as well as the as good interaction between the parent and the child. And of course, the parents that we work with many times report that they benefit from the help or the support or guidance of parenthood that we have offered them here at Vanhempien Akatemia. So, thank you everyone for listening what I have to say. And now we have a couple of minutes for questions, if you have any.
Yes, we have one question. Thank you so much, Lassi, for asking a question. I will read the question for you, Markus. When your work is largely through digital means, do you often have the problem that the customers don't have appropriate devices?
Actually, no. No, I haven't faced that problem myself. I would say never. I think that because during the past year our services have been available on web, of course this affects the customer segment that come to us. So they are people who have their digital devices under control. Of course, there might be a rather large segment of people who don't have that under control and they don't have access to our services. So that is a thing to regard. Thank you. That was a very good question.
Yes, thank you, Lassi. There's a follow-up question from Lassi. When your work is largely, it's the same question actually. Follow-up there. Is it wrong question? Just the same get. Is it possible that some people don't get the help because of this?
Yes, as I already mentioned. Yes, of course. Any other questions?
Yes, feel free to ask. Here.
And if you don't have any questions, then of course, thank you again on my behalf, and have a great symposium, everyone. Our contact information is on the last slide. Yes. Did you say something?
Yes, Anu? Thank you so much, Mark. Yes. Yes, thank you so much, Markus. This was fantastic, your presentations. And as you said, there's some contact information. If you like to ask some further questions later on, please free to contact. We are now going to take a break from the presentations, and we start back again at 1:20 UK time on the Sessions tab. Then please click on the panel sessions. In the meantime, you now have a lot of opportunities to visit the expo and find more about the symposium. Thank you once again for joining us. Bye-bye.